So Ninja, which is a very, very popular streamer, had this to say basically about the trans individual who is allegedly grooming kids and uh Dr. Disrespect. And of
Mhm.
course, women of the internet are offended by it. Now prepare to be offended, Melonie.
Okay.
Like, I don't tell you, I don't do that. I go out of my way to make sure that I am never even alone in another room with a woman ever in any moment. Like, even like even like my PR person. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if they work for me, whatever, bro. There is someone else in that room at all times. If we're alone, I leave instantly. That's on like fidelity, right? As for anything else, dude, it just, I don't DM anyone, bro. I DM my boys. Like, I DM like guys in the community. No, there's no private messages going on with any girls. If there are, it's like someone like Chica, or like, just like people in the space. And then I let my wife know. And then as for like people that I know, bro, if I don't know you, I'm not DMing you. I don't want to get to know you, dude. I don't want to find out you're only 17. Like,
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah, that's base. That's pretty base. It's a good philosophy to have. And I remember back years ago, he also had a policy of like, I'm gaming with the dude. Like, I'm not streaming with women. And I remember even back then thinking, why not? But it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, try being in a situation where you're with somebody and they're spending a lot of time with the opposite sex, and then that spirals into something. Then you start to understand once you've been in that situation. Oh, maybe this does make sense after all.
yeah.
And plus, it's just the optics of it as well.
The optics of if you're married too is not great.
Yeah, he's married, so yeah, the optics of, if he's DMing these girls and stuff, just shooting the breeze, or if he's being alone with women, they can try to me too him. Also, again, it just boils down to optics. I mean, these are boundaries that he has in his marriage, and I think that they're respectable boundaries. I mean, my parents, they have a very similar policy. Like, my mom, she's not alone in rooms with men, and my dad isn't alone in rooms with women. My dad doesn't have female friends that he's going out and hanging out with or having all of these conversations with.
Yeah.
Same with my mom. So it's like, hey, and it works great for them. These are good boundaries to have.
That's called being normal.
Yeah.
Now, like, for me, my policy is simply like the last place a fat neckbeard wants to be on the internet is in a he said, she said scenario in which he does something wrong.
Right.
You will
lose no matter what.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how right you are. It's just, here's a big dude and here's a small girl who's saying this. The girl, they're always gonna. Yeah, we saw that happen with Robert Workman, this journalist.
Jared.
Yeah, we've seen this happen before.
And what I like, it's like, I'm not calling Melonie when we're not live streaming. I don't like, I'm not arranging like hangouts, even though like we're friends,
right.
I don't do that stuff because not that I don't trust her. It's just, I don't want like somebody, like, let's say we were hanging out, we were eating dinner, and then some weirdo posts a picture. And I was like, oh, look at what, and it's just, I don't even want to open myself up to that.
Right.
And like, I think ultimately, I know that nothing weird is going on, but you will lose to the internet. And
exactly.
Even if you look at, let's not even say, the one-on-one hangout stuff, but it's like these idiots, like here's a Kotaku senior editor being like, it's misogynistic, but look at my boobs.
Right.
Yeah. So like, it's literally her only good feature and every girl has them. But then, so she's like, oh, it's so deeply misogynistic. No, it's not. Has this woman never heard of Trevor Bauer? Okay, Trevor Bauer had $100 million contract, was one of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball. A woman slept with him in a bid to ruin his life in exchange for money. The only reason we found out is because he sued her after being canceled from everything, and he was 100% vindicated, and he still can't get a job.
Right.
Has anybody heard about Pro Jared lately? No. Pro Jared was another guy, I think, that was wildly popular. He had some weird pictures or whatever, but for the most part, someone came out and said this heinous stuff about him. He came out like a year later with all the receipts. I think it was Pro Jared. All the
Mhm.
receipts. He was 100% in the right. Done. The internet did not take him back.
Yeah.
All these people, I could go down the list of men that have ended their own lives
Yep.
because they were innocent and accused of bad behavior. So it's like, like I don't, and the fact that these dumb women are like, oh, he's misogynist. I mean, it's Alyssa Mercanti and this
Right.
other chick who's like, I bought a sweater with a cutout for my cleavage because I'm
Yeah.
progressive. Like, girl, please. I bet you the rest of your body matches it too. Like the idea that like you're an editor for GameSpot and you're like, I'm gonna put like, I bet you when she streams, she has her camera aimed down
Oh,
too.
you know it.
So
You know
like
it.
the fact that these women have the audacity to be offended that a man like what Ninja didn't say is he didn't say what he really means. I don't think that he's like, oh, it's all about out of being respect for my wife. I
Right.
think he really knows that if some woman was like, he touched my boob and I didn't like it, it's going to cost him
Exactly.
everything, everything, because the internet will convict him immediately.
This
And
just
she
being
will,
smart. Yeah.
right. It's just being smart. Look, I'm 41 now. I'm not really that concerned about it. Like, I would, like, I'm not going to be in like my hotel room alone with another woman, but like I'll go
Right.
out to dinner. I don't give it. I'm too
Right.
old to care. But
Right.
like, if I was Ninja and I'm worth $50 million and there are tens of
Exactly.
thousands of bitter cat ladies that hate him, um, no shot. I 100% support his policy on that. I don't believe
Yeah.
it for
And
fidelity reasons, but
even if that's just their personal boundaries in their relationship, that's fine too. It doesn't mean that everyone has to have identical boundaries, but it also doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with what he's doing there.
would anybody criticize a woman for saying, I don't feel safe being alone with a man on the internet? No.
Exactly.
They're not saying hashtag all men are predators. They're just saying, look,
Right.
I'm a small being and I don't, like, hey, it's a weird safety thing. Like I don't, I don't want to be alone
That's
with a man.
Yeah, one thing I do on social media, and I let all of my followers know all the time, is it's like I don't do personal conversations with people. If you with my followers and all that, so if you ever have anyone messaging you pretending to be me, or it looks like it's me, it's not me because
Right.
I don't do one-on-one conversations with followers, and it's not that I don't care about my followers. It's just you just never know with this kind of stuff that things can be taken the wrong way. Then there, of course, is my
They could be trying to
safety
set you up.
or
Yeah.
yeah, there's my safety, my image, all of that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, you
yeah, it's
literally
just
had a
good
dude
practice.
stalk you. So I mean, like,
Exactly.
you
So it's
know,
just good practice to like in
yeah.
general, yeah, to in general, not especially when it comes to now all of this coming out with children and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. These guys have no reason to be having these private conversations with young boys. It's just not
Yes. 100.
necessary.
Yeah. 100%. Like there's no reason for it. I don't know why people would even think, that this is a good idea. Especially in a world where like, people are literally trying to just take your money. Like,
Mm.
people will have, catfish and all this kind of stuff.
Oh
Anyway, king of
yeah.
biltong. Good afternoon from Anton's Meat and Eat. Free shipping for your biltong using code quartering, one word, on Biltong USA and Anton USA. Biltong definition: it's a vaccine against vegetarianism and veganism. Yes, get some biltong. It's delicious. I recommend the elk or the wagyu. And Melonie likes the Angus, I think, right?
Yes, that one's my fave. I love it.
Paul says, I hope the Brewers pick Bauer up from the Mexican League. They need pitching help. Dude, I agree. They need pitching up, and their bats are ice cold right now. Ice Cap site said, I still suspect the Baden speech last night was AI generated. It's pronounced Kexa hexa. Okay, thank you. Cookie Ewich in German, like browser cookies. Oh, that's a cool name. Would either of you agree with the statement that most women live life on easy mode? I wouldn't. I would say that most beautiful women do.
Yeah, I think
Just like
that
most beautiful men do.
yeah, I think that attractive people in general have it easier.
Yeah, I don't think like an ugly fat woman lives life on easy mode. By the way,
Right.
Mel, you missed a rant from new
Oh,
NEUDIVR. Can you go ahead and give that one a
let me
read?
find it. Is it on Rumble?
Yeah, it's on
Let's
Rumble.
see.
It's a $10 one.
Let me find it. Was it before the Biltong one? Oh, here it is.
Yes, it was right before.
New Divar with a $10 says Jeeps don't have warranties. They have guarantees. You're guaranteed to need it fixed.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I've heard that too. Yeah, I don't think like here's what I'll say as somebody who has worked with a lot of women. There are certain things that are easier. Okay, so this is not to be offensive to Melonie. She works just as hard as anybody else, right? There may be scenarios where she might get super chats easier or something like that.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
she also has to deal with more bullshit. Like I've never had somebody drive 2,000 miles to creep on me. Like, so there is a give and a take when that happens. Like I don't get people who have what's the word for it? Parasocial relationships with me,
Right.
where they get mad at me and they send me like, stuff like that. Like I don't have that. Beautiful people do live life on easy mode and rich people live life on easy mode. And if you're beautiful and rich, you really are living life on easy mode. But I definitely think, I definitely don't think it's super easy. I mean,
Also, something to
yeah.
say about ugly people is most people aren't ugly. They're just fat. So it's like,
yeah.
just stop
Most
being
people-
fat and you're probably going to be, people are, oh, I'm so ugly. Well, don't be fat. You're probably hot and you don't know it.